One of our next speakers is one of my fellow bar students. He believes it's a common misconception that tough people are usually bad in a place like this. But his philosophy is that you can be both tough and good. And his joint speaker has a lot of courage to take this stand, to take the stage and stand side by side with one of us. Please, everybody, give a round of applause to John Giuca and Officer Hussain.
During my 18 years in prison, I took a tour of the state. From downstate to the North Country in Western New York, and from segregated confinement to population.
I've served a lot less time, and I've done most of it right here at Coxsackie Correctional Facility.
Oftentimes, it's hard for me and my fellow prisoners to see that in order to work here, sometimes you have to have the patience of a Jedi Knight. We may ask a correctional officer a question, or for something tangible like soap or toilet paper, not realizing that it might be the 50th question or request that they had to field that morning alone. And it probably was. I saw what they go through when I got a porter spot, which is the job assignment where you're out cleaning the cell block while everyone else is locked in their cells. The result of being out of your cell while everyone else is locked in, and every one of them needing something, whether it was something physical or they just had a question and needed some information, is that sometimes you could start to feel overwhelmed, and it's frustrating. So I saw what they go, or some guys even take kindness for weakness too. So I saw what they go through on a day-to-day basis, and how frustrating it can be, and how it takes serious fortitude to not let it change you.
Housing units, like a lot of other job assignments, come with their own unique challenges, variables, and personalities. Correctional officers often find themselves wearing a lot of different hats and working with a lot of different civilian staff in order to ensure that needs are met and that valid requests are addressed, no matter how numerous or obscure they may be.
We as prisoners have to try to remember that the same people who watch over us every day are not the same people who put us here. We either did that to ourselves, or in some cases, someone else did that to us, but it wasn't the correction officers who put us here. They're just regular people who happen to get a job with the state. And so we're stuck here, sometimes they get stuck here, and we have to make it work.
Stuck. That's a terrible choice of words. We as officers are often stuck or mandated beyond our shift's end, up to 8 hours often, where we are further away from our families and we find ourselves further inside our shared humanity. That's tacky, right? Our shared incarceration. Yeah, that'll stick. We weren't there for that one bad day, but we're certainly here for the long stay that follows. We are paid observers, yes, but in order to be able to do our jobs as professionals, we have to look past the act that brought these incarcerated individuals here and instead look at the people that are standing before us. It's then that the human element is quick to reveal itself, whether it's warm moments in the visit room, tears shed during a phone call, and on escorts, when we witness complete grief at a family member's wake, or complete and calm grace following bad news at the oncologist. Yes. No. Yes. Officers are usually the first people that incarcerated individuals go to when they need someone to confide in or when they need objective advice. We really are in this together.
So we find ourselves together here in this moment of time, and we have to have some compassion for each other. We have to try to see each other from each other's perspective and try to make it work.
It's contagious.
In her book, Semicolon, Cecilia Watson, who's also a Bard professor, said that anytime humans get involved with anything, there's always the opportunity for our best and most beautiful qualities to come out. But there's equally the opportunity for our cynicism and our petty little hatreds to rear their ugly heads. She also said perhaps the only thing that could be advised is that anyone charged with application of the law, a judge, a juror, a cop, a correctional officer, should always be encouraging the better angels of our nature and always be on the lookout for the worst devils in it. We all know someone who was changed by power. We have to be bigger than that. And remember, we're dealing with humans, many of whom will be our fellow citizens and maybe even neighbors one day, or at least our fellow countrymen.
The one thing that correction officers crave more than caffeine is a smooth day. A day where everyone seems to be on the same page and things seem almost routine. With the bulk of my career still ahead of me, I look forward to those smooth days, and the approach that I'll take to get to them is one that is fair, firm, and most importantly, consistent. Here's to being human, here's to being better, and here's to some smooth days. Thank you.